I think I'm live. I'm sure I'm live. I'm back. I'm alive. I'm well. Hi everybody. Sorry for the delay. Forgot I hadn't made my second cup of coffee, and there's no way I can start talking to you and fall asleep in 15 minutes. We can't be doing that. No. So I'm here. All is well. Welcome to Friday, May the 9th, 2025. To all of you around the world who've joined me. It's option expiry day, isn't it? Unbelievable. How are we feeling about everything? What is happening in your life? Look, we've got news here, all kinds of news. That's not a good look. All kinds of news going on here. First of all, the Dow's up 40 points. You know what we call that in this business? A nothing burger. There's nothing going on. We're up 11 on S&P. We're up 55 on NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is up 0.25 percentage point. This is an absolute nothing burger. Gold is up $30 an ounce, and crude oil is just over $61, where there's this faint hope of economic activity and happiness coming. And I have bad news for those folks. That ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry to be a downer, but it's not gonna happen. The amount of crude being used by shipping container ships is dropping dramatically. These operators of ocean ships that move goods and services, and I'm not talking about just China to America. I am talking from everywhere to America and back. That business is off 45% and still falling off. So the amount of maritime fuel required is way off. And so prices of maritime fuel is going to be cheap. Then, of course, there's the China recession that's going on that they don't want to talk about. China is getting its butt handed to it from other countries that just don't have any money to buy. Because if you can't trade with America, you don't have American dollars with which to buy Chinese goods from the Chinese. I mean, it's connected, like it's like the elbow is connected to the forearm, which is connected to the wrist and the hand. We're all part of the global trading world. When you take America out of the global trading world in one sudden move, and every country in the world slaps tariffs on American goods, making them unattainable for many billions of people around the world, you screw up the world economy. Not the Connecticut economy or the New York economy or LA's port area. Globally, you screw it up. And it's going to take years to recover, because this isn't an 8-second attention span problem we're in the middle of here. This is going to last a while, because certain parties are going to dig their heels in and say to America, we noticed that all of our stuff that we send you, one country to another, one country is going to say to the United States, we noticed that everything we send you, good faith, negotiations between our business people in our country and your business people in your country. As a matter of fact, America, you have Americans in our country operating corporations that are incorporated in our country that are owned by you, American corporations. And so there are American people and people hired by American people in our country that have sourced goods and services to be sent to the United States. But your president, like this guy that you've elected, has decided to put on an arbitrary tariff on everything from our country, anywhere from 10 to 145%, depending on which country we're talking about. The country that's been affected, and I don't care if you've got penguins or if you've got, tribes, or you've got, I don't care what country you are, how wealthy, they are putting tariffs on American goods as a reciprocal. And so trade is stopped. Trade is priced out of business. Because business people are not stupid. They're very smart. Politicians are stupid. They're the ones that are undereducated right now. The business people are very smart. Like investors, like viewers of my channel. Very smart group of people. When you put tariffs on goods that are basically an artificial price increase that prices product out of reach for a majority of the buyers, importers will not import because, again, they're not stupid. They're not saps. For some reason, the President of the United States believes the rest of the world are saps and that he can do whatever the hell he wants and he'll win. Oh, I'll slap a tariff on all stuff from this country and that country, and my treasury will reap billions of dollars in treasury money. Well, this is going to be great until the product doesn't show up. And there's the issue. Cruise lines, container cruise companies, these huge operators of container ships, are not sending 20,000 container ships to Miami, to Philly, to Baltimore, to Jersey. Ain't coming to Portland. They're not coming to Seattle. They're not coming to LA. They're not coming with product because the importers into the USA have to pay upfront these duty prices to import. They're not going to do it. American importers are smart people and they're very well educated. They're aware of international trends. They know the hot toy you want. They pay attention. And they are very fidgety when it comes to a 1% increase in a tariff, let alone a 145% increase in a tariff. And so importers into America are going, no thanks. Now we're delaying the importation of forks, knives, spoons, ladles, spatulas, pots and pans, microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators, cars, clothing, furniture, TVs, everything. We're just not going to bring it in right now. I can't resell this stuff at these higher prices. American consumers are looking for a 2 to 3% inflation rate. They walk into their favorite retailer in their hometown and somebody says, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new set of pots and pans finally, you know. The last time I saw them, they were on sale for like $99.99, and they walk in and go, $249.99? That's a sale price? I don't think so. I'm not going to buy brand new pots and pans. The hottest business you might want to get into is the resale business, the used business, where you might go to a garage sale and see someone has a garage sale. They're moving to another town or something. They got a brand new set of pots and pans they've never used. Never got around to using it. Got it as a gift 5 years ago from my mother-in-law. I didn't give a crap about it. You can have them all for $20. Deal. Because a brand new one is 10 times as expensive. That's the first area of business. I guess Cedric the Entertainer in the movie Larry Crown is going to be the big winner here. If you're a yard sales specialist like Cedric the Entertainer in the movie Larry Crown, got to watch that movie. It's a great movie. He's the winner. All of his merchandise just went up in value by 100%. That little coffee table, it's $100. Let's get started right here. For American people, it's a nightmare. And for American importers, it's a death knell. And for American retailers, choices have to be made. What do I bring in? What can I move? What can I upgrade in price? And where else can I get this stuff from other than my traditional sources? And that is the other game in town in America. The specialists who represent Target, Costco, Walmart, these folks are scouring the world. Where can we bring in merchandise that we need for this Christmas, next spring, next summer, where we don't have these massive tariffs? Can't go to England and bring in Weber barbecues, by the way. I was talking about Weber barbecues yesterday on this show. They're made in China, and they've got a 145% tariff on them if they haven't got an exemption. You're not going to be able to go to England and source UK-made Weber barbecues. There aren't any made in the UK, okay? So where else can you get them made? The folks at Weber, the board of directors at Weber are busy right now, have been busy for months, okay? These are smart people. They're not dummies. They're sitting there going, oh, God, Jesus, bring in our Weber product now is way more expensive. Where else can we get this made under license? Can we go to Nairobi? Can we go to Kenya? Can we get this made in Sri Lanka? Can we get these made in Pakistan? Can we get these made in Bolivia? Where can we get these made where the president won't nail us with a 200% tariff or an 80% tariff or 60% tariff? Where can we get this done? Can we get this done in Mexico under the free trade arrangement somehow? What can we do? Or do we get parts made in various places and then have them shipped in to the US and pay duty on the parts, okay? And then final assembly the whole Weber barbecue in a warehouse in maybe Colton or Fontana, suburb of Los Angeles, near Ontario, let's say. Bring it into the LA port, put it in container trucks, drive it to an assembly warehouse. We'll hire 200 people there. We'll say it's assembled in America. We'll do everything we can to fool the administration that it's American made. Can we get away with it only costing us $20 a barbecue more, and we can add $100 to the price of the barbecue to mark it all up? What are we doing? They're scrambling. They're scrambling. In the meantime, the viewers of this channel and the non-viewers of this channel are getting crushed with your US dollar not buying you as much stuff as it used to. The days of the 99-cent meal at McDonald's are over. The days of the kids' meal being $1.99 with a toy made in China, over. All gone. The days of going to Disneyland for under $100 a day, $150 a day, $200 a day are over. The days of finding a hotel room for $39.99, $59.99, $79.99, over. Double everything. Get ready. Americans, your standard of living is about to crater because globally, your dollars just aren't as useful as they used to be because the American government wants most of them. The Trump White House needs every one of your dollars. After all, he needs to get rich in the next 3 years. Otherwise, he's done for. This is his go-to time. This is a payoff. He's got to have policies that work for him and his family and his cronies. And all of his favors that he owes are to billionaires. He doesn't owe favors to mom and pop stores in small town America. They voted for him. Yeah, because they thought, well, if I vote for a billionaire businessman, it'll be a lot better than this woman. All she wants to do is talk about equality and a fair shake for everybody. Screw that. Let's go with the businessman because I'm a businessman. I own a corner store in a little town in Kansas or something. Good luck with that. You're not a factor anymore. He doesn't need your vote anymore. He's got your vote. He's got a 4-year mandate. Thanks for the vote. Now I'm going to do what I want because I won't be running for another election. I can't. So it's cash in time for me. And you're witnessing a whole lot of people getting rich out there, but it's not you and it's not in red states. No, it's not. I might sound bitter and angry. I'm not really angry. I'm just trying to be realistic as to what the hell is going on. Thank you, President Trump, for putting people in the poorhouse. But hey, you decide if you're one of those people that got caught in that thing or not. Maybe you're so smart, you're so analytically ahead of the rest of the world that you saw this coming and you knew that, oh yeah, there's going to be crap to pay here. It's going to be ugly. But yeah, the genius that I am, I may have voted for this guy, but I made arrangements so that I will win with this president. That's how I've lived my life. And I don't have to worry about the rest of the world. Okay, well, God bless you. More power to you. For those of you out there who are not on the inside of the Republican hierarchy inside that White House, you're basically, vulnerable to any rule changes. Like, for example, the Ford Bronco, that vehicle just had a $2,000 price increase slapped on it. And it's made in it's assembled in Mexico. It's $2,000 more. That vehicle is a low-priced, value-priced, I guess maybe is the right word, I should say, value-priced vehicle from Ford. It's not a Land Rover. It's not a Lamborghini. It's just a value-priced item. $2,000 more right now, and get ready for your F-150 to go up about $6,000 to $8,000. By the time it gets to the dealer's lot, all right, it has to leave the Ford factory, and it's got to go through the transportation thing, and it's got to get prepped. And by the time it's on the lot for sale, and the dealer knows you can't buy an F-150 equivalent with Kia's name on it. You can't buy a vehicle of that girth and weight and heft from many other places. Ford, with that chicken tax from 1965, a tariff, is still enjoying a price advantage over the rest of the world. If Audi and Volkswagen and Fiat and Toyota and any other country around the world, Jaguar, could bring in F-150 vehicles with their nameplate on it, import them into the U.S., you would be able to get a Ford for $30 less, because they'd have to cut their price. Because everyone else would come in with $30,000 less priced trucks that are just as good, if not better, than a Ford F-150 with a full 4-year warranty, with 0% financing. I mean, you would be offered such opportunities to get a truck that you won't believe how cheap a truck can be, because trucks are garbage. Trucks have been designed in the 50s and 60s, and the technology in a truck, other than climate control and a power seat, what's so incredible about the trucks? They have self-driving capabilities, kind of, sort of, whatever. Do you need a self-driving truck in a farmer's field? Do you need all the bells and whistles to move hay for your cattle? No. Trucks are a joke in the United States and in Canada. They are a freaking joke. They are for 1% of the population. But oh no. 30% of the world wants a pickup truck. Every young boy wants a pickup truck. Wow. Go to Belgium, go to Frankfurt, go to Paris, go to Rome, go to Madrid, go to Tokyo, you're not going to find any F-150s wanted by men over there. No, they're doing just fine. Anyway, that's just another little observation. We saw a deal yesterday between the United States and Britain. You heard all about it. The White House couldn't stop gushing about it. Oh, we made a deal with the United Kingdom. A trade arrangement has been made, and it's just beautiful. The Brits are happy in Britain. The media is not happy in Britain because the media has done something in Britain that some of the media in America is afraid to do. Look at the details and tell you about the fine print. In Britain, they figured a few things out, least of which is when it's all said and done with these new arranged and negotiated tariffs, at the end of the day, what Britain used to be dealing with for tariffs during Biden's presidency versus the tariffs going forward now in the Trump presidency, they're much higher. It's a flat 10% already on everything. That's non-negotiable. There was never a 10% tariff on everything coming in from Britain. There is now, and then there's still exemptions to that. The media in Britain is slamming the government over there for being hurry to cave. You couldn't wait to make a deal with this guy. You want to be the first one to sign a deal with this guy. You signed the worst possible deal you could have possibly made. Because in Britain, they voted for Brexit. They're out of the European Union. They don't have any backing there. They're all by themselves. And so they figure, well, who can we make a deal with? God forbid we make a deal with the Chinese. I mean, we don't trust those guys. So let's do a deal with Trump and get the best we can from it. Put the spin on it that it's, stability in Britain and Britain's going to do great by this. And the analysts are going, this is a shit deal. And in America, the analysts who are analyzing the fine print are going, this is going to lead to lower trade between the two countries. Because at the end of the day, you're going to review the trading amounts between Britain and America over the last 5 years. You're going to come up with an average. And now you're going to go forward from here on forward and measure trade. And what are you going to notice? The numbers are much lower, both directions. Because goods into England and goods into America are going to cost more money. And most Americans, by numbers, most Americans live, if they have it, paycheck to paycheck. Most. The top 10% are option writers. They're presidents of companies. They're directors of publicly traded companies. They've inherited wealth from their grandparents. The top 10% of Americans are living the life of Riley. Most of my viewers will join them if they haven't already. But for those of you just starting out and finding me for the first time, you're in the bottom 90%. You might be making 120 grand a year. That used to be a ton of money. But after tax and all of the other deductions, you don't have a lot of money left over. And after the rent or mortgage and your insurance and gas, and you're living paycheck to paycheck. Especially if you're a family of 4 living on $100,000 a year, you're broke. How are you going to pay 15% more for anything from Britain? Comfortably. You're going to have to give up something else. Can you? If every trade deal going forward between the United States and any other country ends up where there's at least a 10% baseline tariff on everything, and we're talking about $25 trillion of imports, exports here, if not more, that's $2.5 trillion of taxation going to governments, not to businesses. And governments that get that kind of capital don't pass it on to the taxpayer. They spend it on special interest needs, wants, and desires to keep getting reelected. And so the military is the winner in America. We'll continue to get $100 billion a year raise every year. 1 trillion, 1.1 trillion, 1.2 trillion. That will not stop. Homeland Security, CIA, other agencies will continue to get billions of dollars without questions, without audits, without oversight. They will just get the dough. And then there's everyone else who will want a special handout, starting with the farmers of America. The American farmer and the Canadian farmer are some of the smartest people on the planet when it comes to intergovernment relations. Farmers in Canada know their mayors, they know their city council members, they know their county people, they know their provincial people in America, they know their state representatives, they know their federal government people. Farmers have organizations that, for them, lobby their politically elected people for benefits, tax breaks, write-offs, and everything else. And a country like Ethiopia can buy wheat from America or Canada or oats or soybeans or canola or whatever, and the government of America, the government of Canada will guarantee the Ethiopian government's purchase of product from farmers. Farmers never have a problem getting paid for their exports because they sell their exports to their government that then finances the sale of said exports to the end buyer. And that's why even in the 70s, during the height of the Soviet Union, the Iron Curtain, the human rights abuses, the propaganda out of Moscow that was just so unbelievably ridiculous, Canada and America would sell wheat to Russia. The buyer was the Russian government. The seller was U.S. farmers selling and Canadian farmers selling to their government, who then sold it to the Russian government. And at the same time, both countries were investing as much money as they could into nuclear weapons to annihilate each other. But in the meantime, we got to eat. And U.S. farmers and Canadian farmers have done incredibly well growing product with almost unlimited ability to lace the earth with poisonous chemicals, pesticides, growth hormones, the beef business, the pork business, the poultry business, the health of the average North American person is in real trouble because of the kind of chemicals, the forever chemicals that are in our food chain. That's because farmers are incredibly good through their organizations to get stuff done, to do business. We feed people. We must be looked after. And so these tariffs that are in place here and are going to remain in place, trillions of these tariffs will find their way to the farming community, as trillions of dollars have found their way to the farming community for the last 50 years. This is not going to stop. And if you want to get elected in the United States House of Representatives, or as a US Senator, or in Canada, you want to become an MP in a farming community, you better not talk about making life in big cities better. You better be talking about making farmers' lives better. And that is better inheritance rules and laws, tax laws, the ability for farmers to borrow money with deductibility, farmers to be able to write off equipment purchases at unbelievably generous rates, far better than anyone in the city gets any kind of help. Farmers are experts at sucking out of the economy of their countries. And I'm not talking Canada, US now, I'm now talking the world. The Japanese farmer is one of the most powerful persons in Japan. French farmers, German farmers, England's farmers, incredibly powerful people. There are many of them. They have votes. They are registered voters, and they have power in the House of Commons, in their Congresses, in their Senates, and in their presidential palaces and whatnot. The game of socialism is alive and well in the United States, but people just don't want to call it that. And the car companies are going to get tax breaks and handouts from the government. Factory owners who promise big factories in Ohio and Pennsylvania and other states, oh, they're going to get tax breaks like you can't believe. Handouts from the government, state, local, state, federal. That's socialism. I'm sorry, that is socialism. Amazon has played the game perfectly. So has Microsoft. So has Apple. The game is simple. Tesla is a genius at this. We're thinking of opening another assembly plant. We got one in Freeport. We're thinking of opening another plant to make cars. Who won that lottery? Texas. Red state Texas. Why? Because the government of Texas gave Tesla everything it wanted. The amount of taxation that Texas is going to get from Tesla is a fraction of what they could have got had they played hardball. But they didn't. They caved. Texas gave away billions to Tesla. They call it a win because, well, look at all the people that we've got coming in, and look at our housing market, and look at this, and look at that. Yeah, the reality is Tesla's the winner. The American people are the loser. Texans are losers. Because eventually, 5-10 years from now, Tesla will move to another state where it's better. That's what eventually will happen. These plants will reach their zenith, and if the tax breaks don't keep coming, they'll go somewhere else. In increments, but they'll go somewhere else. There's no long-term game here. It's socialism for today. Farmers are winning. Big businesses are winning. Americans are losing. Canadians are losing. Canadians are pissed off. Trust me, this is not an America, I'm picking on America thing. It isn't. But tariffs ruin business everywhere. Europeans will not be buying as much American product, and Americans won't be buying as much European product. And if Canada gets in on this game, Canada loses too. The smartest thing other countries can do to avoid the American meltdown that's happening right now is to cut deals with other countries. Canada would be very wise to cut a deal with Europe, which says no tariffs for us and no tariffs for you. We should have free trade between us. Open it wide open. Now, there's certain restrictions you have to go with. For example, if you want to import certain kinds of food into certain countries, like Americans want to send dairy to Canada, they want to send beef to Canada, they want to sell pork. Canadians will say, we'll take American product if you don't have these growth hormones in it. If the product is as high quality as ours is. We have rules up here. Europeans, can you imagine the French bringing in American beef, unthinkable, absolutely off the discussion table, never to be discussed. American beef compared to French beef? The French look at American beef as poison. There's no damn way. They look at the pork business of the United States, the industrial-sized pork factories that America has, and they're horrified. They're going, are you kidding me? Oh, no, we're not going to buy that product into this country. No, thank you. We'll allow a Burger King to open up in Paris to produce the Whopper, but it's not going to be from American beef. Are you out of your freaking mind? The lettuce isn't coming from California. Oh, no. The buns, French buns. We know food in Paris. Don't tell us how do we produce food. And the same in Italy, and the same in Spain, and the same in Germany. Europeans are horrified at the kind of food we eat in North America. They're horrified. They cannot believe we put that into our mouths. And our politicians passed waivers and whatever decades ago. And we're now looking at fields in the USA and Canada that have been growing product inundated with chemicals that would be unthinkable. Even in the Vietnam War, they used Agent Orange. The stuff in our fields is scarier than hell. But hey, let's not talk about it because, it's not pleasant. You're un-American, Bruce. You're always talking politics. Don't do that. Anyway, there you go. Welcome to the program. Look, here's something else for you to think about. There's a new article starting to show up right now in the media. You're going to get more of this. By next year, in 2026, about 18 months from now, so let's talk about maybe September, October of 2026, it's possible that if I am still on the air, if they haven't kicked me off, I will be starting my Gold Bagel Member Alert Show at 7:30 p.m. Sunday night, and 7:30 p.m. Monday night, and Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and I'll be starting this show. Instead of at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, I'll be starting this show at 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern time, starting Sunday night until the market closes on Friday. The Friday close will be 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern time. So the market opens for trading for the week, 8 o'clock Sunday night, and ends at 8 o'clock Friday night, and will be open 24/7 with a 1-hour pause per day. And I might have to do an opening in the middle of the show. I might have to do an opening show at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time and an 8 o'clock start for this show Eastern time for 5 days a week. And then I'm going to have a second show at maybe noon or something like that to kind of let you know how it's been going. I don't know how I can physically do that. I'm going to have to clone myself, maybe AI myself, and have two Uncle Bruces for you to fill you in on what's going on, because that is the proposal. The proposal is to go 24-hour a day trading 5 days a week in American markets. What I'm not sure of is how the option market will play out with all of this. How do we close the day and rejigger the market to restart the day? We have to have dividend payouts. We have to have stock splits have to be done. There has to be a closing window. Is it on weekends? Are all of the financial institutions in the United States now supposed to be working on weekends so that between Friday night at 8 o'clock Eastern and 8 o'clock in the evening Sunday, that window is where everything gets rejiggered? I mean, the cost to American businesses will be unbelievable. The brokerage firms will be just spending millions, billions to handle all this. Can't they do it in a 1-hour window every day? That's the thinking. AI intelligence is coming to Wall Street for this. Trust me on this one. What about the options? When do they expire? What time of the day? Do we have 0 day to expiry options? Okay, well, when do they open and when do they close? Are we talking a 23-hour trading session for contracts? When do corporations come out with their financials? If you've got a quarterly financial, when do you release the news? Do you only do it on weekends now? You only release financials all day Sunday from like noon Eastern until 6 o'clock Eastern. That's when you can only release your financials. And then we open for trading at 8 o'clock Sunday night. What about Tuesday afternoon, Wednesdays, Thursday? How's this going to work? What if a company wants to do a press release, financial report or an update at 4 in the afternoon on a Tuesday? That's going to screw everything up. The markets are open. Is a stock going to have to be halted? If IBM comes out with their quarterly financials on a Tuesday afternoon, does the stock get halted for the rest of the day and then starts trading at 8 o'clock that night all over again? How is this going to go? This is being talked about right now. These are some of the logistics. The SEC has to approve this, and there has to be a discussion period. And the earliest that this could happen is late 26. But this is coming. Something else that's coming, 0-day to expiry options are coming to a stock near you. If you love 0-day to expiry contracts, you love doing credit spreads on calls and puts on the ETFs like triple Qs and the SPYs, get ready, kids, because we're not that far away from the possibility of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday option expiries for the Magnificent Seven, including Broadcom and an ETF that is known as a XLF ETF. There could well be 3-day-a-week expiries for those stocks, and that might go for 6 months, maybe a year, and then they will graduate to daily expiry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday expiry on the Magnificent Seven plus Broadcom and these others. And we will now see an additional 50 to 100 stocks coming in now with Monday, Wednesday, Friday expiries. The most active option trading stocks will eventually have 3-day-a-week option expiry and then 5-day-a-week option expiry. This is all coming along, and add to that 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now it's going to get interesting. Daily expiry on NVIDIA options, Monday to Friday, starting Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Who's going to bed now? What I want to bring to your attention when I say all of this is I just want to tell you that if you don't understand how options work, and if you don't understand how they are created and how they expire, and you don't understand in the money, out of the money, stink bids, stink offers, in the money, out of the money, you don't understand all of the stuff about options, then you're obviously not a casino. You are the sap that the casinos are waiting for. And if you're a viewer of this channel, you hang out with me all the time, you're likely a casino. You are a writer of options. And this is all good news for you. All of this actually is good news for you, because the options market is trading 14 billion contracts now. The turnover is unbelievable. This is going to triple. It's going to be 50 billion contracts traded shortly in the next few years. The amount of money coming into the option market is going to go from $5 trillion to $20 trillion. The turnover is going to be nuts. And you folks out there have an opportunity to take money from saps like you've never had before. The institutions that write options now will not be able to write enough contracts to satisfy mankind's insatiable demand for lottery tickets. You have to print lottery tickets for these people who want to gamble. Daily contracts on hundreds of stocks expire every day. Those of you who are credit spread writers, you've just started to dip your toe in the water to try to write a couple of credit spreads on triple Qs and SPYs, daily expiry. Guess what? It's going to get really busy, and the premiums are going to be insane. You're going to find some ridiculous premiums because most people in the options market, the retailers, they don't know what they're doing. The retail buyers don't know what they're doing, and you're going to be able to set prices like you can't believe. And you better be making money. You better start making some serious money in this option market, because your standard of living is crapping out if you're a North American. Even if you're a European, our standards of living are dropping right now. Governments need more money from us to pay for wars, to pay for bribes, to pay farmers, to fund their businesses that are failing. They need money to fail, and they need money from you. They need it from the action. The easiest way for a government to bring more money into its treasury is to implement sales taxes or duties, tariffs, without losing votes. Because if your income tax doesn't go up, as a matter of fact, if your income tax goes down, you're going to vote for your politician again. You're going to say, well done, my taxes are lower. I'll figure out how to spend my money, but just don't take it from me up front. You can take it from me as I spend it, but I'll dictate how I spend it. That's the mentality of those who have money. The top 10%ers, they go, oh, yeah, it's all right. I'll pay 20% tax, but that 80% I got left over, I'll figure out how to spend that and pay as little tax as possible as I spend it. The bottom 90% of the world, trapped in the paycheck to paycheck trap. Deductions at work, no eligible deductions from work. You can't deduct your shoes as an expense. You can't deduct your clothing as a business expense. Generally speaking, you're screwed. You're a retail taxpayer, and you're going to get nailed. And then you're taking what meager money you've got to buy food and clothing and car insurance and a car and whatever. Tax. Built-in tariffs. And a bigger chunk of your money that you generate goes back to the government that is taking care of you. Yeah, notice the nice part of town over there where those mega mansions are? Those are the folks that are really being taken care of. They appreciate all of your hard work and efforts. So you better be an option writer making some good money. And you can be an option writer making good money in this market. And you're going to be making good money in this market as an option writer, because the option business is about to expand to a level you have never thought possible. And then the hours are going to expand. And oh my God, are you going to be able to pick and choose where you want to trade? But you better know what you're doing. And there are 18 lessons available for you on my website if you would like to try to understand how options work. Starting with lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 now is even more important than ever before. I just describe options in number 1. Lesson number 2, I describe how you can buy and sell and write contracts. The first lesson is buying and selling contracts, the business of. Number 2 is how to write them. People start writing options as soon as they take my second lesson. They get the first 2 in and they start writing them. But by the time you get to lesson 18, you've got a much better handle on what the hell's going on. And if you seriously want to make money as an option writer and you want to stay ahead of the market with its shenanigans going on, you better learn how to be a sophisticated option writer. You should give yourself every chance. Thank you for joining me. We open in 12 minutes. My God, can you believe it? We're up 137 on the Dow. We're up 24 on S&P. We're up 100 on NASDAQ, half a point on NASDAQ, third of a point on the Dow. Oil is up 63 cents. It's slipping. It was up $1 something. Now it's up 63 cents. Another fun day in paradise. Which country is the next country to cave and make a deal with Trump and ultimately sign a shitty deal like the UK did? The UK signed a shitty deal. The UK caved and has allowed itself to be raked over the coals with at least a minimum 10% tax on everything it imports into the United States. There didn't used to be that. Now there is on everything. Oh, you're a winner. First, Trump took everything away from you and gave you a little back. You're a winner. Be happy that you're a winner. That is the mentality at the White House. They are laughing in the White House. They're thinking, if we can get all 190 countries to do this deal, we can do the tax cut of $5 trillion for the top 1%. We can deliver those super PAC donators massive tax breaks, setting us up for re-election in 2 years, 4 years. That's what they're hoping. On the other hand, they're going, do we give a crap about getting re-elected? Really? Why don't we just set this thing up with a 10-year tax break, unbelievable proportions, and then don't bother rerunning? We're winning. Who's going to undo a tax break in the first year of a next presidency? Who's going to do that? That's unpopular. So yeah, we'll just run this thing into the ground for our first 3 years here, and then we'll walk, and we'll just cash in. Because after all, we are 80-year-old men. You know, many of us are in our 80s and 70s and 60s. How long are we around for? 15 years, 10 years, 20 years? We're not going to be here 50 years from now. An 80-year-old politician going to be 130 in 50? I don't think so. No. The next generation can take care of the problems. Let's leave them some real doozy of problems. I'm just a guy in front of a computer just trying to tell you what's going on. Anyway, Eddie, thank you. Richard, Charlie, Andrea, Hector, Stock Jockey, Thank you, Stuart, David, Steve Butler, CKT. Welcome all. Robert, as always, the man. Henry T, Touchgrass, Tom Kaufman, Murray from Tokyo. How you doing there, buddy? How's it going? Tom, Rice Checks, Chase, Rosita Parker, Mark, the man, Stock Jockey, Walter Young. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the program. Love Boat. You're all here. Whether you like me or not, you're here. Thank you. What are you thinking today for the Qs, Bruce? And what are you thinking, Crazy 49er? Charlie wants to know. I'm looking at 482.80 put spreads for around 20-cent premium, trading at 490 in the pre-market. Do you think that's safe enough to be up there? That might work. David, having TDS is a populist thing. It's almost like it's a cult-like behavior. What else? Crazy 49er, Love Boat Captain. They're all yapping back and forth. Slap Rocks is here, not your normal trader. There's Crazy 49er. Hello there, sir. ACDC. James the Misty Tree. Luring Angler Fisher. ALA is here. Wheelan, Idaho. Thank you, Trump. Mike is here. What else is going on? Mike, James. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the program. Yeah, Ford F-150 won't fit in the streets of Rome. That's true. Or Paris. Yeah, London, kind of a stretch there for some of the streets. No kidding. Anyway, yeah. Giddy up. Because of these chemicals in our food, I grow a part of my pet food on my own. There you go, Spare. Right on, buddy. Who else is here? Oh, Charlie. Hey, I've been a member for 11 months on this man's channel. Option writers win. Classes are worth every penny, everybody. Amy J, I've given you 89 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs ups as well. Thank you. What else is going on? Mike, I've got 43 $11 SoFi calls expiring today. I don't want to roll out 6 to 8 months. Should I just get exercised and then write cash secured puts? You're talking about call options. You've written $11 calls, and you're now about to get taken out. You don't want to roll out. Well, then guess what's going to happen? I mean, yeah. You've already decided what you're going to do. I don't know why you're asking. You've decided what you're going to do. Okay. Andre Delatorre, hey, good morning, Uncle Bruce and everybody. Cindy, good morning. Trading on a flight to Florida. I love this game. Well done, Cindy. Welcome to all of you who are here with us today. There is a poll question on the go today. If you would like to take a look at it for me, maybe give it a little peek and see if you want to answer it today. Appreciate you all coming through. Thank you again for these thumbs ups as well. They've been coming in here bit by bit. Much appreciated. Just one moment. I'm waiting for my computer to refresh so I can give you the latest. 101 thumbs ups. Thank you very much. Going for 200. I think we hit 199 or 200 yesterday. I can't remember. Do you believe that the worst is over for the market sell-off and that we're going to go higher from here? That's a question for today. It's a yes or no answer. What do you think about this? 37% of you have said we've hit the bottom. 63% are saying no, the dip is going to go worse. We're going to go worse before we get better. We're not at the bottom yet. And there are 200 and something responses so far. So I thank you for participating in this question because I am curious. The guys, some of the people on these, Wall Street channels seem to be indicating they think the worst is over. They're bragging about how the S&P went down, what was it, 13%, and now is back 8% or something like that. And they think, oh, this is a sign. Smart money has come into this market, and you can tell by the gain of the markets, and everything is beautiful. Now with these Trump trade arrangements, everything's going to be just super, super sweet. I don't think so. I don't believe we've hit bottom either. I think we're going to go quite a bit lower. I think we're going into a serious bear territory because the reality of the whole market is simply this. In the second quarter, at the end of June, we're now, May 9th. So we're 40 days, right? For 39 days into the second quarter, 30 days in April, 9 days here, 39 days into the second quarter. At the end of second quarter, and then the third quarter and the fourth quarter, corporate America, which is what I'm talking about here, will release their financial results. We've just had the first quarter financials come out in the last 3 weeks. the first 3 months of this year, Biden was president until the 20th of January, and Trump didn't screw things up until about early April when he really screwed it up. So we got away with the first quarter to the end of March. America got through that quarter relatively unscathed, and financials have come out fairly okay. But a lot of companies have stopped giving you guidance. They're going, I can't give you guidance. This quarter is the first quarter of the Trump presidency verdict. We're going to see if these companies can make their numbers. I already see analysts lowering expectations for corporate America for this quarter versus what they thought they would do a year ago. A year ago, there were analysts saying, oh, the second quarter of 2025, we should see these kinds of numbers. They've been lowering those numbers and waiting now for June to come around when in July, here we go with the release of how we're doing in the second quarter. I believe, personally, most American corporations will not meet or exceed the estimated numbers they're supposed to do. There'll be a handful of all-stars. Oh yeah, always are. And you'll hear all about those guys because Wall Street will brag about those guys. The White House will brag about some companies exceeding expectations. But the vast majority of companies that are not going to do it, no one will talk about it. Because remember, Wall Street never says sell, ever. They say hold and rotate your positions, never get out of the market. And so I expect PE multiples, price earnings multiples, to be rising as earnings are falling. Stock prices cannot be maintained at high levels. They have to come down so the price earnings multiples come back to a reality scenario. We were in unreality in January when the markets hit new all-time highs. After the election of Trump in December, January, markets were hitting all-time record highs. That's long gone. That's long over. The PE multiples at that point were way up here. They've already come down, and they're going to go lower as the earnings don't come in. The thinking was stock prices are high because PE multiples are going to grow into those stock prices. So Apple's trading at this high level. Well, that's because the expectation is Apple's going to make more money next quarter and the next quarter and the next quarter. This is the talk 6 months ago. Apple will make a whole bunch more money every quarter so that the PE multiple will fall as earnings rise against the stock price. The earnings will match the stock price. Guess what happened? Earnings didn't match what they were expecting, and future expectations are lower, and Apple has already backed off, substantially backed off. And if you take a look at the Magnificent Seven stocks, their highs of the last 52 weeks and where they are now, and where they were in April, they're not back to where they were. There are no Magnificent stocks, Magnificent Sevens hitting new all-time highs, and none are expected to either. This market will go lower. And you as an option writer better be taking advantage of this because you've got to maintain your standard of living. You've got to move up the demographic scale. You've got to get away from the bottom 50%. You've got to get up to the top 10 percentile. $250,000 a year or more household income is your minimum objective as an option writer. That's where you've got to get to. And when you get there, you're going to have to compound that by 10, 20% a year. You got to get into the $300,000 a year range within the next 2 to 3 years. And you've got to get to the $350,000, $400,000 income level within 5 years to be where you could be today at $250,000. Because the American dollar is depreciating and will continue to depreciate. The American economy is no longer the dominant, single biggest economy in the world anymore. China is now taking on. And the BRICS are lining up with China to do business with China rather than America. Because America's pissed off everybody. America's made everybody mad. Self-inflicted stab wounds have been made into America by America itself. You've got to make a bunch of money. Larry is doing everything he can to help you make a bunch of money by saying, We're open. We're open for trading, kids. You can start trading your contracts and your options and your stocks because the market has now opened. Instead of opening at 8 o'clock p.m. on a Sunday night, we're open at 8:30 Eastern time on a Friday morning. And we will close today at 4 o'clock Eastern time, not at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Until we do the 24-hour day trading thing, that's where we are. Remember, the top 10% own 60% of the wealth of America. The other 40% is for everybody else. Yikes. Wow. Tom, I'm number 108, Bruce. Thank you. And thank you, Tom. I love it. What can I say? Andre, in the short term, do you think it's wise to write call credit spreads on the Magnificent Seven? I sure do. I sure do. And I sure look to, I like the fact that they've recovered a little bit because now you get to write credit spreads a lot closer to their all-time high prices. This is where I'm really comfortable having you write credit spreads on the call side, where if the stock like, for say, NVIDIA, let me just pop it up. It's $117 a share right now. The high of the year is 153. NVIDIA is not going to 153 anytime soon. Not with the restrictions on their chips, not with the uncertainty of tariff nonsense. No, they're not going anywhere. So, if you can write 130, 140 credit spreads on NVIDIA, I'm more comfortable there than if you were writing 120s a week or two ago. I'm much happier that NVIDIA is not at 98 and it's more at 117. As an example, even Tesla is $294 this morning. It's up $11, $296. Way to go, Tesla. Well, 350 credit spreads, fantastic. 330, 350, 360 credit spreads. The 52-week high is 488. Who in their right mind can honestly say Tesla's going to hit $488 a share? What the hell is Tesla going to do in the next 6 months that will make the stock reach those levels? Car sales? Battery production? What? Automatic remote driving capable? None of that is going to take stock to that level. No. So yeah, that's something I like. I'm looking at, say, Google, 155 right now, 155.62, 52-week high of 208. $53 from here. Really? No, not 50. Yeah, $53. If you can write right now 175, 180, 85 calls, credit spreads, fantastic, man. I'm comfy up there. Yeah. It all depends. Apple's $200 a share, the 52-week high, 260. We're $60 below the high of the 52 weeks. That's still more than 20% lower. That's a bear market. Apple is in a bear market. So you can write 225, 235 calls. Yeah. Now, if you can write calls that expire today, this is Friday, right? If you can theoretically write a credit spread now for Apple tonight, anytime in the next hour, you can't go to 240, 230. They're zeros, obviously, because they died today. But next week, Friday, or the Friday after that, you might be able to write call credit spreads on Apple that expire in 2 weeks in the 230, 40 range. And you're going to shut them down sometime next week. You're only going to run them for 3 or 4 days, and then you're going to shut them down. That might be a very comfortable credit spread trade to make, just on Apple. Microsoft, 439 right now. The high, 468 for the year. If you can write 455, 460, 465 credit spreads, ooh, beautiful. Record high territory for Microsoft. That would be great. I'd feel comfortable there. Meta is 604 right now. The high, $740. Can you write 660, 680 credit spreads on Meta? I'm comfortable there. Certainly short term. Amazon, 194 right now. The high, 242. Good Lord. We're $48 away from the high. That's still 20%. This stock is in a bear market. I don't know what Wall Street's all excited about. There's nothing to get excited about. They're trying to get you hyped up because they're saying, oh, the stock's low versus where it is. It's now in a bull market. No, it's not. It's in a recovery from a crash. The bull market, in my opinion, is when it breaks all-time highs. Don't fall for this BS from these characters in Wall Street. I'm just a guy looking at the market, trying to tell you how to make money in this market and how not to get hosed by these people. We're up 124 on the Dow. That's a nothing burger. That is a dead cat bounce. Why aren't we up 800 points right now? Trump is hinting at an 80% tariff for China instead of 145. Why is this market not up 500 to 1,000 points? Because the market knows. International investors are not falling for this BS one-liner. They're not. No, it's not going to work. I'm based in the U.S. but work with Europe a lot, so my mornings are usually filled with meetings with my colleagues, says Larry. I'll actually be in Europe for the next 3 weeks, my friend. Andrea, what about Meta? What about it? I think I just talked about it. Dak, Charlie, Triple Q sold yesterday for today. Cashed out at the opening for 70%. I will watch and write again later. Well done, people. Crazy 49er, Charlie C2. I wrote 585, 587s for 30-cent credit. So I did a $2 spread, $200 for $30. 15% on my money. Nice going, says everyone to everyone else. Well done. We're up 116. We're not going anywhere. We're now up 74 on the Dow. We're up 18 on S&P. We're up 87 on NASDAQ. Crude oil up 64 cents. SoFi 1336 up a dime. SoFi so far has traded 2.2 million shares. Absolutely dead quiet. That is a dead quiet market. The low 1325, the high 1339. We're up a dime. There's where we're at. GameStop 2688 up 9. ASTS up 14. Rocket Lab down $1.63. Earnings came out yesterday. Much higher gross revenues as expected. Partnership deals being announced with the U.S. Air Force, Space Force, all kinds of contracts. The company is billions and billions of dollars of back orders, but the market is expecting perfection from these guys. I don't know what, I can't tell you what they want. Do they think it was supposed to go right to $30? I don't know how they think that, but it's $21.60. It might be a bargain. It might be a perfect time to write $20 cash secured puts. Might be a great time to write 25s if you go out far enough, but it's up to you how you want to play this stock. Do you want to do it on a put credit spread? You want to do a call credit spread? You want to do just cash secured puts? So how do you want to play it? Tom, supply chains are goosed with these tariffs. We'll start feeling the effect real soon. Oh yeah. Shelves will start going empty in the next 3-4 weeks. In every store, Bruce? No. In every shelf, in every store, no matter what, don't hold me to that. No. But we're going to begin the beginning of shortages. You're going to start to see gaps. Now, maybe in New York State, not so bad as it is in Kansas. Maybe Washington State is doing better than in North Carolina. Is it all across the board, all at the same time? No. It's going to start showing up like measles. It's going to pop up, whack-a-mole. That's what we're going to start to see. We'll be watching that closely. All right. MSTR is up $10. I noticed this morning that Bitcoin was up again a couple of $1,000. Well over $100,000 per coin. Have you folks noticed that too? Let's take a look here. Bitcoin. Let's see if we can get Bitcoin to pop up. Here we go. Bitcoin is $102,993, up $1,676. So it's had quite the 5-day run. 5 days ago, even on the 6th of May, that's this week, 93,700. That's a big run. In the 3 months now, from about February the 10th all the way to here, April 7th or 8th, 76,700. So we've gone from 76,000 something to 103 something, just to give you an idea of how much it's moved. It's now up $1,939 today at 103,252 from what I can best calculate at the moment. Very interesting. The Canadian dollar is dropping today again. It's now at 71.82 after topping out at 72.5. The euro is at 112. It was at 113.5 to 114. It's now 112.5. The pound did get up to 134 just the other day. Almost got there. It's 132.90, so it's down a penny. The yen was down to 142.5. Now US dollar can get you over 145 yen to the dollar, and we were at 146 overnight. And so the US dollar has gained nicely on the Japanese yen. In the Swiss franc area, the American dollar in 5 days has gone from 82 cents a couple of days ago. It's now worth close to 83 cents. Swiss currency is more valuable than the American currency. This currency in the last 3 years was approaching parity. As a matter of fact, the American dollar, you could have bought, it was worth more than a franc back in 2022-23, but has since dropped 20%. The American currency has dropped 20% against the Swiss franc over the last 2 years. Again, this is what I'm trying to get to you when I tell you about your standard of living in trouble. This is what I mean. I mean that over time, the American individual, any American, because you get paid in American money, you're losing against the rest of the world. Switzerland is kicking your ass. Same in Canada. Canadian dollar is just as bad off as the American dollar. We're at 72 American. A Swiss franc for a Canadian, our dollar's worth 60 cents in Switzerland. It's expensive as hell to be in Switzerland. So there you go. It's more expensive to be in Britain, though, than Switzerland, believe it or not. And Europe is cheaper, not by much, but a little. So Canadians are losing, Americans are losing, other currencies are losing here and there, but the American consumer, the American individual is losing against the rest of the world. And right now, the rest of the world is not happy with what America has been doing. And it's not your fault. You're not the problem. You people are not the problem. You viewers of mine and non-viewers of mine, it's not your fault. It's the one guy with a group of cronies over in the White House that have created all kinds of crap. And you could theoretically point your finger at your local congressperson, congressman, congresswoman, senator. They're gutless. They won't stand up to Trump. And there's the issue right there. The two pieces of government that are supposed to stand up to the White House aren't doing it. Only the courts are standing up to this guy. Mr. Boring himself, the head of the Fed, he's standing up to Trump. He won't capitulate. But everyone else is caving to this guy. That's the issue. Whether you like it or not, that is the issue. Okay. Just a guy. A crazy 49er. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I bought 100 Palantir back when it was $10 a share. I wrote a $100 covered call for November. I got about $11 for it. Do I just keep rolling or just get assigned and take the $100 profit? Well, if you take the 100, you're going to be taxed on it. Hopefully a long-term capital gain. On the other hand, just keep rolling. Yeah. Now, look, if you do get assigned, you could turn around and write $90 cash secured put and take a whack of cash for that going forward and just keep making money on this thing from the other side if you want to do it that way. But congratulations. Tom, inflation will rise. Powell literally said in his press conference, it will because of tariffs. Stephen Butler, why do they not want Amazon to show the cost of the tariff? They show all the other taxes in their invoice. The administration has tried to hide the fact that tariffs are a tax on the U.S. consumer. You just answered your own question right there. Did you see the Senate hearing this week with the Treasury Secretary and the one Democratic guy asked him a simple question: who pays the tariffs? And then over to you. It was a complicated issue. No. Who pays the tariffs? I'm reclaiming my time. He wouldn't answer the damn question because he was told, you answer that question that it's the American people that pay the tariff, you're fired. You are fired. Guess who's watching the television set in the office at the White House of you in front of the committee? And if he's not watching it personally, his interns are watching the television, and they will show the rerun of what you said to that committee. He would not answer the damn question. They asked him 20 times. He didn't answer it. It's not like he doesn't know. He absolutely knows the answer to the question. He won't say it. Listen, if it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, and it flies like a duck, and it's in the pond swimming around like a duck, is it a duck? Well, it could be a democratic duck. Those are different species of ducks. I don't know. Henchman is the word, Bruce. Henchman is the word. Yeah, I was watching an interview last night talking about how the White House now is run by the mob. You got the Don, literally the Don, at the top of the heap, and then you've got his consigliaries, his 5 consigliaries advising him as to what to do and how to do it, and then you've got your henchmen, and you got the boys and girls in SWAT uniforms with face masks and bulletproof vests, AK-47 rifles, going to arrest university students who dare speak out. And they are arresting immigrant farmers who don't have the papers. And Americans are getting swept up, depending on how foreign you look or appear. Come out of a Walmart store and you look to be non-Christian. They ask for papers. I want to see your papers. Prove to me you're an American citizen. I just came out of the grocery store. Prove to me you're an American citizen. We're going to lock you up until you can prove otherwise. My papers? Yeah, show us your birth certificate. It's at home. Well, go and get it. Well, I can't. I'm in handcuffs in the back of your vehicle. Oh, that's too bad. We'll put you in the jail for now, and we'll sort this out later. This is happening. That's the ground troops. You got the guy at the top, you got the advisors, and then you got the people who tell the guys on the ground to kick ass. And that's what's going on. I'm just a guy on the outside trying to tell you to make money. I'm just hoping you guys get rich, because you can get rich and you don't have to worry about theoretically this all the time. You can be concerned about it, but you can get rich in the meantime, because you got to get your piece of the action, kids. You're not going to get it from anywhere else. A business in America is getting harder to do. And so some of you are worried about getting laid off at work for the first time in your lives. You are seeing stuff at your office you've never seen before. You are hearing talk in your organization that you work that you've never heard before inside that organization because of what's been going on lately. Are you able to walk away from that organization if they tell you to leave? Can you live on your own? Can you make enough option writing to not have to go to another organization that talks silly talk now? I'm just asking. Only difference is everyone refuses his offers. Lorraine Alcabruce, do you think I will be swept up? I sure hope not. Like I said, some of you are fearless, and you have every right to be fearless. But then there are others out there who are asking, wow. I know for a fact that in the last 5 to 10 years, this isn't local, this isn't lately, this is now for 10 years, there are Canadians who are crossing the U.S. border, whether at the airport or on the ground, who are brought in for secondary investigation, for discussions, because they look Iranian, they look Iranian, they look Middle Eastern, they look Latino, they look not Christian white at the U.S. border, either inside Canada at airports or at ground crossings. And a number of them have been denied entry, even though they are Canadian citizens. They have been accused or are being accused in a roundabout way that before you became a Canadian, you were a radical in the country that you came from. And even though the Canadians gave you citizenship, we think you're still a radical. You're not coming in. And you have a 10-year ban to come into this country. Now, go and appeal it. Good luck with that. This has been happening for a decade to Canadians, certain kinds of ethnicity Canadians who are just going, I never thought this was possible. I thought my Canadian passport and my Canadian citizenship, I'm a Canadian. Wow. Children of these people are having problems as well. Children of former immigrants who've become Canadians are now getting caught up in the xenophobia of America. Just let you know, you're not going to hear about that on Fox News. You're not going to hear that on CNN. They haven't got time for these stories. They're not sensational enough. There you go. Anyway, that's it. Let's see. GameStop, $27, says Brian. Well, it's up 22 cents. Please go. 13.35 on SoFi. Go, Brian. I just sold 5 Rocket Lab $20 cash secured puts for Jan 2026, and I got $4.30. That's a good trade. That's good money. You're out $1.15 out of the money. You're getting $4.30 for the contract, so you're on the hook to buy the stock at $15.70. I like your chances of not having to buy it. I like your chances of making money in this trade. Ed, Rocket Lab taking a dump. John T, this may be a silly question, but will my credit spread that expires today close if out of the money and I place a 1 cent close price? I believe it will, but will there be times it will not close out? These are very good questions, John. It varies. It depends how far out of the money we are. If it's out of the money a penny, it won't get exercised. If it's just out of the money. Now, the problem with some of these brokerage firms that you're dealing with is that the market doesn't close for 15 to 30 minutes after the market closes. This is the gray area. I have no idea. This is why I beg you people, I'm begging you, if your contracts are in the area of the market, close them out yourself. Pay 2 cents, pay 3 cents, get out of there. Get flat. There's no chance of being exercised. Pay to get out because you're too close. You admit to yourself, yeah, I'm too close. I'd like to wait. I think I'll be all right. Don't think you're going to be all right. Get out of there and get ready to write on Monday. Okay? Winners, cash checks. Pigs get slaughtered. Lorraine, both of my boys carry their birth certificate. Both of them carry their birth certificate. Their enhanced driver's license and their passport. I carried my passport card and driver's license with my bad leg, and they'll give me a pass. Unbelievable. Lisa, down goes Rocket Lab. I'm buying back my covered calls. Easy peasy, nice and easy. 2098 on the stock, down 212. Hey, buy back covered calls, write cash secured puts, take the money. People are dumb enough to sell this stuff down here. Let them be dumb enough. You take the money from these saps and say, thank you, sir. I'll have another. There's only 6 million traded. We're down to 2092, 2102. So what? This company's great. SoFi up 12. GameStop up 12. ASTS up 15. MSTR up 13. AI up 32 cents. Mike H. bought back $11 SoFi cash secured puts today for 3 cents that I sold for $1.51. Mike, what are you going to write now? Are you going to write $11 cash secured puts on SoFi for a month or two for another $1.50? 20 of them, $3,000 waiting for you or more. Keep us posted, Mike. Well done. Crazy 49er, my stink bid saved me yesterday. Triple Q started dropping and it spiked for a second and my 11-cent thing hit and I'm out of there. Rice checks. The video of the ICE raid in Worcester, Massachusetts, it's horrifying given the sheer number of officers to grab one woman, a student with a green card, has not been charged with a crime. In Louisiana, they have to bring her to, Connecticut within the week, according to the courts. I'm waiting for her to be released on bail. I'm amazed at the sheer audacity of these people to literally kidnap people off the street, wait for them to walk by and grab them, put them in unmarked cars, no charges, no lawyer, no judge, nothing. Unbelievable. This is not the America I know. I thought America was different, but not today. Crazy, just rolled my Meta credit spread, 580.87 from today to next week. They gave me $1.60. There you go. There are times where you do a credit spread because you're winning on the trade. okay, or you're even on the trade, you're down a little on the trade, you do a roll like this and you haul in a nice fat credit and you go, you know what? What did I give away? What did this cost me? One commodity I had to give up for the moment, the clock. I gave up some time to take cash. Time is money. Yeah, your money. This is your money now. Crazy 49er could well unwind that trade Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, next Wednesday. You don't have to wait till next Friday already. By next Wednesday, Crazy 49er might go, you know what, Bruce? I can roll this one for next week, Friday, for another $1.40. I'm going to do it again. That's called making money on a weekly basis. I like this game. Lisa, Rocket Lab, Jan 26, $20 cash secured puts, 410, 425. Jeff, this is a different one, Uncle Bruce. A mother with a child in her arms. Oh my God, Jeff. The horror stories. I can't keep up with them. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying what's going on out there for no good reason. None. The hardliners go, they're illegals. They should be locked up. They should be taught a lesson. You know how many thousands of dollars this costs per day to the United States taxpayer? How many thousands? Now, look, I am not saying open the borders, let them all in. Okay. But if they're bona fide green card holders, the child is a naturalized American citizen, you can arrest this person and you can bring him in front of a judge and you can put him under house arrest with an ankle monitor. There's ways to handle this. This is terrifying. This so-called balaclava covered faces with SWAT uniforms, black boots. Oh man, it is so pathetic that America is doing this. It is incredibly pathetic. But there it is. As Crazy 49er, no due process, all persons, not only citizens. There you are. Lisa, they're deporting babies with cancer. We're hearing all kinds of horror stories, aren't we? It just goes on and on and on. Do I mind that criminals are being caught, that have outstanding warrants, that are, convicted of serious crimes or what have you, who didn't show up at court hearings? Hey, you play that game, you get caught. Wow, okay. But for typing a comment on a social media site about a world situation, an opinion piece, you're getting rounded up for that? I don't think so. I don't think the opinion piece called for anyone to be murdered. It's not like someone said, I want this person killed. These are opinions about the world at large. America has gone way off the spectrum. I mean, way off. Who thought this was possible? Unbelievable. They are going after easy targets. They're cowards. Charlie, offer just hit. Triple Q, 783.85, 483.45. Put spread, $2 put spread. I got 19 cents. I suspect this dies tonight. Way to go. Qs, 483, 485 on the Qs. We're at 490.88 right now. These puts are nicely behind this market. That is a nice rate. That's very well done. Brian, GameStop 27.11. Go GameStop, says Brian. Well, we're up 30 cents, 33 cents. So, okay. We're up 13 on SoFi, 13.39. Do you notice how SoFi was 11 and then it was 12 and then it kind of got to 13 and now it's in the 13.30, 39 area. And we're going to 13.50, maybe 13.70. We're just kind of 13.40 right now. We're just kind of, inching higher on the SoFi, a little here, not causing any waves. No one's getting excited. It's like, shh, we're going higher. Don't tell anybody. We're just kind of, we're going higher. Okay, Brian, Uncle Bruce, I know ASTS is on a green day. It's up 21 cents. But can you write Jan 26 cash secured puts 21 for like $5? What's wrong with that position? A $21 cash secured put on a $25 stock. It's fantastic. That's crazy. I mean, that's good money. That's crazy good money. You're prepared to pay $15 for ASTS that's trading at 25.50. I kind of like that trade. I like the idea of a $21 contract bringing in $500. You need $2,100 and you bring $500 in right away. It's 23% on your money right now for January. Geez, 7 months. It's a nice annualized return, isn't it? You want to look at June's or something, you probably get more. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Look, you can write cash secured puts on anything you want that expire a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months. If you don't want to wait till January, but you're not going to get as much dough, but you don't have to give up as much time. This is the option game. Welcome to the option party. I'm glad you could join us. Lorraine, I'm number 101 on this thumbs up meter of yours, Bruce. Thank you all so much. How are we doing on that thumbs up meter? And how are we doing on the question of the day? How is it going over here? Anybody want to tell me what you're experiencing? I'd like to know. I've got 247 people now who have voted on the question of the day. Do you think that the market sell-off has been had and that we're just going to go up from here now? That we're back now to a bull market? We backed off from the lows. We've jumped up to here, and that was the dip, and now it's all over. 35% of you are saying, yes, the dip has happened. The bottom has come and gone. Where 65% are saying, oh, no, Bruce, no, we're going lower. We're going to go lower again. We are not done yet with this thing. That I kind of tend to agree with the majority here, 65% versus 35. Thumbs up meter, 125. Pretty hard to get thumbs ups these days. I don't know what I have to do to satisfy you guys to get a thumbs up. So many of you are making nothing but money. You're too busy making money to give me a thumbs up. I'll take that excuse. I'll take it, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe you just don't like the way I present stuff to you anymore. And you're just kind of going, he says the same thing every time, and I'm getting bored with this guy, and I'm not going to give him a thumbs up. Let me know. If you have any constructive criticism of what I do, send me a private email where you can freely type. Tell me what you think. Hey, can I make this show better for you guys? I'll do what I can. I just want you guys to get rich. It's nothing personal. I just want you to get wealthier. And there you go. Susan Shops. Hey, sorry, I was 125. I wasn't 105. 125. Rock and roll. Thank you. Coming up higher and higher. SoFi, 1333 at the moment. We saw 1344 a moment ago. I think it's there now. Up 18 cents. GameStop, 2709, up 31 cents. ASTS is up 40 cents. The Dow's only up 12, though. Am I missing this somehow? Hang on a second. Let me refresh this. Maybe it's my big ass iPad, because I think we're up 99 on the Dow. We're not up 14. Hang on a second. Yeah, we're higher. 1346 on SoFi. We're up 19 cents here. The Dow's up 96. Okay. We're up 23 on S&P. We're up 118 on NASDAQ. It's still only a 2/3 of 1% gain for NASDAQ. The Dow's up 1/4 of a point. There's not a lot going on. It's positive, but it's dead cat bounce positive. Let's not get too full of ourselves. We're up 63 cents on oil. Okay. All right. The Bitcoin market. Oh my gosh, have you watched the Bitcoin? Goodness gracious. Let's take a look at Bitcoin trading right now. The Bitcoin value at the moment is $103,600. Bitcoin is the high for Bitcoin is 107,000 something not too long ago. Remember that? Yeah, we're back up here to 103,600. We're up $2,300 today, 2.3% today. Like I said, 3 months ago, the low was around 76,700. You can now add $36,000. Is that right? I'm having trouble. No, it's 24 and 3, $27,000 higher since April 7th. Wow, what a run! The high on this thing was back in about January, February, late January, early February. That's when we hit that 107, 105, 106 level, where we backed off and we've come all the way back to almost be towards the high of all time. on Bitcoin. Wow. What a run that has had. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party. I don't know what the GameStop situation is. Do any of you know anything about GameStop's Bitcoin position? I don't. GameStop shares are 27.10. This stock has not moved because of Bitcoin at all, really. I mean, let's be real on GameStop. If we look at a 1 month chart, they were up into the $28 level earlier this month, back in March. Back in February the 17th, we were at $27. Back in January the 6th, GameStop was $33.30. That was before they got into the Bitcoin business. So this stock has not even gone back to the $33 level that we were in when the markets were hitting all-time highs. And they apparently got $1.5 billion in cash to go into something Bitcoin somehow, somewhere. I got nothing. Do you have anything? I know jack squat about what GameStop's doing. I know they sold their Canadian stores. That I know. I don't know for how much. They didn't say. So what is going on at GameStop? I mean, really, I don't know. N8, with all due respect, the political opinions are a lot. Right or wrong, I'm here for options, not political. Thank you. Dude, Uncle Bruce, I'm pulling 10% a week return on investment. I'm just writing puts on MSTR. Just sniping out of the money puts. I'm just taking money every week. 10% week in, week out. You know what that means? In theory, if you've got 10 grand, just pretend you get 10 grand. You get 10% a week out of that stock. You're making $1,000 a week. At the end of the month, you've made $4,000. You've turned 10 into 14 in a month. Now, if you were compounding the money, theoretically, you take a 10 grand, turn it into 11 grand in 1 week, and then add $1,100 to that for the next week. You have 12,100. Then you're making 1,200 the next week. You're at 13,300, and then you're making $1,330. You see what I'm saying? You're 10 weeks from now, 15 weeks from now, you are flying here. Yeah, this is the power of compounding. Susan Shops, Bruce, why is Rocket Lab a good company going forward? They got $5 billion in business lined up at huge profit margins. They can't keep up with the business. That's why it's a good stock. These guys are going to grow. This is like NVIDIA 3 years ago. The orders were there. The orders will be executed. The margins are great. The orders keep coming on top of the orders that are in. By the time they execute the orders that they're behind on, they're going to be at 15 billion in advanced orders. Rocket Lab is a great stock looking forward. Going to do extremely well. The company's going to do extremely well. Lisa, Tesla hits a 2-month high. It makes no sense. There you go. B. Tizzle, I'm hitting 10% a week on my GameStop put spreads. The options market on it has really been picking up lately. Maybe some of you might need to take classes on how to write stock options. Do you want to make 10% a week on what I think here is a conservative option writing strategy? Why don't you take some classes and learn how to write cash secured puts like on Rocket Lab and take in 23, 24% cash right now on your investment, on your trade, sitting on the money. You're sitting on your profits, and you decide how little to give back. Classes are a measly $200 each. Take them at your leisure. Rewatch them as many times as you like. Become a Gold Bagel member. Join this channel. Join the family. Become part of the Discord group and make a lousy 10% a week. Have you looked at your 401k lately out there? Anybody here? Is there anybody listening to me? 401k. Have you looked at your statements from your employer, from your folks over at Invesco or BlackRock or whoever you invest with? What kind of return in the last month did you get? In the last year did you get? Are you getting 10% a week on your money over there? The so-called retirement pot you've been building up that you're going to live on someday? Can you imagine if your 401k went up 10% a week and compounded? How wealthy would you be? You know how wealthy you'd be? You would be Julia Roberts wealthy. You would be Pelosi wealthy. You would be Marjorie Taylor Greene wealthy. You would be Donald Trump and his henchmen wealthy. That's how wealthy you would be. Do you want to be as wealthy as them? So you can tell them to stuff it? I'm just a guy asking. That's me. Susan, yes, but Rocket Lab is down 9% right now. That's right. You buy when it's low and you sell when it's high. You write cash secured puts when it's low. And then you let the stock run back up again, and then you roll it for a higher price. This is the time to take advantage of this sort of stuff. Yeah. Charlie, if it dies worthless today, Triple Q spread will put me up 68% in 2 weeks of trading with $1,000. I'm only doing 5 $200 spreads. Thanks for the knowledge, Uncle B. 68% return on $1,000 in 2 weeks. Anybody home? I'm knocking. Open the door. Let the money in the house. I'm closing out some current ones, says B Dizzle, and I'm moving to my next position. 23.25 spreads for June 20. I'm opening them for 80 cents credit. I'll probably close it out next week on a pop. There you go. Jeff Glass. Lisa, right? Tesla's business is in a free fall, and the stock's at a 2-month high. The brand is absolutely toxic, but the stock is going up. Crazy 49er, laugh out loud. Thanks for the Tesla alert, Lisa. I rolled more $250 puts and $350 calls further out. Oh my goodness. Easy peasy, nice and easy. Anybody here? Hello. I love this game. I just am so happy for you guys. Those of you who are doing this, you're scoring. You're scoring. Oh my God. All the shenanigans coming out of the White House, the Congress, the Senate, everywhere else. Oh my goodness. What can your country do for you? What can your options do for you? It can make this a great country. That's what it can do for you. Oh my God, love it. Congratulations, all of you. Keep up the great work. Don't you stop for a minute. Don't you dare stop for a minute. I love the fact that some of you are using like $1,000, $3,000, $5,000. I'm just trying it, Bruce. I'm just going to see if this works out. If I can write some of these call and put credit spreads and see if I can bring in some decent returns on these daily expiry options. Oh my God, Uncle Bruce, the returns are ridiculous. They're insane. I'm telling you, they're going to get better. More saps are coming to this market. I have 136 thumbs ups, by the way. Thank you for that. 253 people have answered my question of the day. Do you believe that the worst is over for the stock market? Or are we going and we're going to go higher from here? Did we have the dip and it's all gone now? 35% say, yep, we have had the bottom and we're going to go higher from here. 65% say, no. We're going lower, Uncle Bruce. We're not done yet. We have more nasty surprises coming our way, but that's okay. I'm going to be making money writing options. I'm not getting caught in this PR BS game out of Wall Street where you never sell. Oh, really? Yeah, watch this. Rocket Lab down 212. What a perfect day to write cash secured puts on Rocket Lab. You couldn't ask for a better day. 8.7 million volume. Let the shakeout happen. Write the 20s, write the 18s, write 22s, write 25, whatever you want. Write them. Take the cash off the saps. Offer to buy this stock at a tremendous discount from here. That's what you want to do. All right, 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s, whatever you want. SoFi up 13 cents, 13.39. GameStop up 37 to 27.15. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. Spire up 3 cents to 9.57. Smart Rent holding at 90 cents. Apple up 2.22. Tesla's up $20.59 to $305. Yay! Hey, make money on this. Microsoft up 75 cents, Alphabet up 2, Amazon up 102, Nvidia up 11 cents, Meta up 148. Supermicro up 34 cents, ASTS up 52, AI up 41, Palantir down 75 cents. MicroStrategy up $10.79. Unity up 67. Goldman up 468. Cisco up 35. Spiders are up 142. The Qs are up 232. Netflix down 42 cents at $1,144. Pfizer unchanged. Arc Innovation is up 93. IBM is down 240. $250. Uber up 78 cents. The high of the year for Uber is $87. We're at $83. HPQ up 48 cents. Home Depot up 19. Vanik Semiconductors is sitting at 224.39, up 244. Adobe's up 388, hanging around 387. And Enphase up $1.08, over 50. We were down to $43. We're back to 50, baby, on that Enphase. I don't know what's going to happen on that. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the program. I only want you to get stinking rich. Jen is saying, you know what else you only wanted? You wanted a sesame seed bagel with grape jelly on it. It's Friday. I think you're right. Look at that colon. Just caved. Oh, my God. Got a bagel here with a giant crater in it. You can't quite see that. Look at that giant. Oh, my God. Tasty. Very nice. Deep Value says Bitcoin surpasses Amazon to become the 5th largest asset in the world. Wow. Tom, I sold 3 Rocket Lab $20 cash secured puts for $1.44 that die on June 13th. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. James the Mystery Tree. Tom, that's a nice trade. I wasn't as patient, so mine are June 20 for $143. Jeff sold June $20 Rocket Lab $19 cash secured puts for $1.25, and January 26 21s for $4.95. Thank you, folks. Give me the money. Tom, James the Mystery Tree. I put in an order, went to pee, came back, and it hit. I mean, I can't even go to the crapper anymore. I make money when I go to the bathroom. Stephen Butler, bagel, Jeff Class. Those 19s were 150, not 125. Fat fingers, but hey, money. Giddy up, kids. Dow's up 40. Not going anywhere. Giddy up. 1340 on SoFi. GameStop 2717. ASDS 2570. Rocket Lab 2086 down 224. The low of the day on Rocket Lab is 2079. We're now at 2086. This could be the low of the day. I don't know. Jeff, I bought back Jan 26 Rocket Lab covered calls. I recently sold them for $280. I bought them for $195. You might be rewriting them later today. This stock comes back $1.50. You might be creating another batch of covered calls. Nice going there, buddy. Keep it going. Oh my. Welcome all to the program. It's a delight to have you with us today. Jeff saying, you know, those are $35 covered calls. I was writing 35 covered calls on a stock that was at $23 a share. Now that it's dropped to $20.87, I made almost a buck on these things. I made 40%. Why not take it off the table? That's a smart move, Jeff. Really. And you might rewrite new calls later today. If there's a recovery in the market today or a Monday or Tuesday, you might take a new cover call position on Rocket Lab. 35s, 33s, 32s, whatever. The Dow's only up 5 points. We're backing off. What a session. Crazy 49er. My January SoFi $12 puts are up 45%. It's time to cash in. There you go. Giddy up. Might be time to write 15s. Roll them up there. More money in your pocket. Giddy up, everybody. Want you to get richer. With all this wealth being demonstrated and being made on this channel through these viewers and these members, it's nice to see you're all here. Welcome to Friday, May the 9th, 2025. 137 thumbs ups have come in. 63 needed to magically hit 200, hit that magic number. 259 people have voted on the question of the day. 66% said, Bruce, I think this market will go lower before it goes higher. And the rest of you think that we've already hit the lows after the April debacle and that we're going to go higher from here. We're going to find out. There's an opinion piece out right now titled Empty Shelves, 4 Lease Signs and Job Layoffs Point to a Recession by Summer. I tend to agree with that. I have a suspicion that empty shelves, 4 lease signs, and layoffs are coming. I believe it. Jeff says, I got some 1650 Rocket Lab cash secured puts that expired today. I was never able to buy them back because there's no volume on them. That's why you have to be involved in active contracts. $20.94 is where the stock is right now. Okay. We're only up 2.5 points on the Dow. We might be going in red here. We're only up 6 on S&P. We're up 51 on NASDAQ. Market is pulling back a bit. What Dow stocks are running off here? What's going on? Losers on the Dow. IBM is a big loser, the worst of it, down 1.49%. Sherwin-Williams down 0.6, Honeywell 0.6. This is of a percentage point. NVIDIA down 0.5%. United Healthcare down 1/3 point. Same with Salesforce. Travelers down 0.3. Walmart down 0.3. Nike about the same. Procter & Gamble down 1/5 point lower. Coca-Cola 0.18 and Home Depot down 0.06. Those are the losers. The biggest winner this morning on the Dow is Boeing, and it's only up 0.85%. So the winners are not winning by much. The losers are off double what the winners are winning on. We're down 7.5 on the Dow now. Apple is up 0.84, Merck up 0.82, Walt Disney up 0.79, Chevron up 0.7, Goldman up 0.55. Verizon 0.42, Cisco's up 0.41, Amazon 0.40. Visa's up 0.3%, American Express 0.29, 3M up 1/4 point, Amgen up 1/4 point, JP Morgan up 0.13%, Caterpillar up 11%, McDonald's up 0.08%, Johnson & Johnson 1.05%, and Microsoft is up 11 cents, up 0.03 of a percentage point. So the winners are barely winning. The losers are losing a little, but we're down now 0.94. So we've given up the momentum gains, the dead cat bounce gains from this morning. They're gone. And that's what I was wondering about. Is this a dead cat bounce market today? Is that what we're faced with here? I don't know. SoFi, 13.28. It's now red, 13.24. So SoFi's gone into a bit of a tailspin because, again, the market's backed off. There's no volume. Okay. Welcome to the party, pal. It's nice to have you with us today. Thank you. Lisa, SPY, taking a nosedive, Bruce. Going red. Double D, I wrote Rocket Lab, $21 cash secured put for Jan 26. I got $5. I'm going to fold my arms. Ed wrote June 20th, $23 cash secured put on Rocket Lab. One, bagel time, baby. Bagel, bagel, bagel. Rocket Lab, 258, 2058 down 252. That's the story. Little wave of selling in the market. The Dow's down 54, S&P's down 2.2. NASDAQ is only up 11, so we're going red. Oh my. I remember back in 2009, when the worst of the financial crisis was, playing itself out. I was in Vegas, driving through Las Vegas, and I was stopped at a red light with a whole bunch of other cars. And I was looking at a strip mall just off to my right. I think I had gone to like a McDonald's and had done a bathroom break and got a cola to drink. And I was working my way back to the expressway to keep on going. And I was driving past some strip malls, off the strip, obviously. And I saw a strip mall that had there was a pole with a sign on it that you can put any kind of message on there, burgers 2 for $3 or whatever you wanted to do, whatever it was. The strip mall was empty. Like there were really 10 stores that could be there, and there were maybe 2 operating, 8 were empty and for lease. There were for lease signs everywhere, and the sign said free rent. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Free rent. Call this number for details. And I thought, man, here's a retailer, a landlord trying to make the space look busy so it didn't look scary, because empty strip malls can be abused and can be, rocks can be thrown at windows. I mean, they can be torched. Really scary stuff. So here's a landlord offering free rent. I'm sure it would be a 3-month deal, and then it might be $500 a month after that, or it might be, we'll give you free rent for a year if you sign a 5-year deal, or we'll apply a free rent allowance against what we normally charge. Maybe we charge $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. I'll charge you $1,000 a month for 6 months, and I'll charge you $1,500 for 6 months, and I'll charge you $2,000 a month for a year after that. Make you a deal. I'm open to discussion. And that sign looked like it had been up a while. And that's also really, whoa, I was going, holy crap, is this bad? Because I knew Vegas was hurting real estate wise. It was bad in 08, 09. The prices there crashed. That was unreal. Tom, I saw some U.S. states taking Canadian at par to get visitors. Lisa, I heard Vegas hotels already laying off staff. Tourist dollars are staying away from the Strip. The tipping culture has gone insane over there. That's the other scary thing. The so-called, those resort fees, remember, and all that stuff. So many tourists have been pissed off for years, like 5-10 years now. This is the first area you cut out. Vegas is not an affordable place to go to anymore. It used to be. The last time I was in Vegas, to be in Vegas purposely, was 2020. Jen Jr. and I. Probably 2020. It was not an enjoyable experience.
We went to see Love.
Yeah, we saw the show Love, which is not on anymore because that hotel's been gutted.
It was on for a long time.
Mhm. The Mirage is under reconstruction right now. It's going to become Hard Rock. The volcano's gone. The whole hotel's shut down. Everything. They gutted everything. They're redoing it. Mega billion-dollar redo. But yeah, we stayed at the Luxor. Not nice. I mean, unique pyramid property, all that stuff. But we were in a pretty nice room that once was a really nice room, but it was not in good condition when we got there. I bought a Diet Pepsi in a store on the main level of the hotel lobby in 2019. $6. It was a 1 liter bottle for a bottle of Diet Pepsi in a plastic bottle. $6. Couldn't wait to leave. When we were done, we were done. I haven't been back since. I mean, the city as a whole haven't been back. No. Tom, nobody going to Mariners games from the Jays are in town. Empty seats everywhere in Seattle. Not crossing the border. Beach Boy, Rocket Lab, Jan 26, Keshket puts 15. The 15s, 214, 216. I love you, gamblers. I love you, people. Night on, Beach Boy. Lisa, GameStop, big green candle, Bruce. On GameStop. 2761, go. James the Misty Tree opened a triple Q 500 510 call credit spread yesterday for 41 cents. I just closed it for 3 cents. Woohoo! Boom. Way to go, man. Nice and easy peasy, taking the money off the table, baby. That's a $1,000 trade. He got $41 and he kept 38 of it. That's a 3.8% return in 24 hours. Thank you very much. You do that every day. You make $38 a day on 1,000, 5 days a week. You're talking almost $200 a week, 20% a week. $800 a month. You're making $800 a month on $1,000. Think about this compounding of. That's not even compounding it. That's just trading the $1,000 trade. 38 cents at a time. That's the power of these little trades right here are massive. When you start doing 10 and 20 of these at a time, you pull out 10 of these and you make $380. You do that 5 times a week, you are making a living. You can do $380 trades a month. That's $7,600. That is $90,000 plus a year on 10 grand. Did you need $1 million to do this trade? No. No. Did you need 50,000 of inventory to make 70,000 a year? No. Hello, Crazy 49er. Vegas lives of the Asian tourists. They may be scared to come. Crazy 49er is saying, James, that's a nice trade you pulled off there. Lisa, Asian tourists can happily go to Macau. Has the same casinos, hotels, shows. They speak Mandarin there. They have all those slot machines. The food is all familiar. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Canadians are not going to Seattle to see the Seattle Mariners by driving from Vancouver down to Seattle. I heard this week a number of Canadians were saying that they were driving back to the border from Seattle. They were on their way back to the border, and they got pulled over by ICE agents going back to Canada. And they were giving them the runaround and holding them up for an hour on the side of the road and doing a full-blown inspection of everything in their car, opening up every bag, every suitcase, every baggie, everything, giving them a really rough time. These people are just going home. They're just going back to Canada. They're not, they were in for a day trip, This is permeating back. It's coming back to Canada going, don't even bother. Like, when you get down there, you're not going to be happy, let alone the experience at the border. Just everything after that is a hassle. And these guys have gone on to extreme Red Bull, caffeine, rage mode. These ICE agents who think they are just second coming. Unbelievable. They've been told by their bosses, rough them up. For what? I don't understand what the point of it is. I don't understand the upside for the United States at all. Anyway, there you go. Have heard, though, that there was legislation proposed that has been entered into the record in the Congress. The representative from the Congress of this area, the Coachella Valley, I believe is a Republican. He teamed up with some Democrats, and they put a bill together to propose to allow Canadians visiting the United States, rather than a 6-month automatic B2 or B1 visa, a visitor's visa. This is for snowbirds, by the way. It's now an automatic 240 days from 180 days. So it's an extra 2 months. So Canadians could theoretically, if this were to become law, could come to the States and spend up to 8 months a year in the U.S. Statistics show that in the region that we're in, 7% of all homes in this area of the valley, the Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, Indian Wells, La Quinta, this whole region, 7% of all homes are owned by Canadians. And another gazillion Canadians come down here and rent at a place. Hello? Then there are the Canadians who come down here in their RVs, and they stay at an RV park for the whole winter here, fully serviced. It's expensive as hell. They pay it. Then, of course, there are Canadians who stay in Slap City. They go on BLM land. There's a lot of those. But a lot of Canadians come down. What they do is they go to Mexico for 2 months. They go all the way down the Baja Peninsula or elsewhere to RV camps down there. And then they'll come back here to the U.S., spend 4 or 5 months here for a total of just under 6 months. And that's a total of an 8-month vacation, an 8-month getaway in their full-time house, which is their RV. And then they go back to Canada for the summertime. Anyway, they're talking about 240 days for Canadians who are flying in, driving in, RVing in, because the congressman says, these folks are down here spending nothing but money. I mean, they're creating jobs for us. The In-N-Out burgers and the Safeways and the Costco memberships and the hotels and the resorts and the restaurant. I mean, the money being made off of Canadians. We're all golfing here, playing pickleball, whatever. So anyway, this has been tried before and has not gone through. Usually this has been tried in the last year of a presidency. This time it's being tried in the first year of a presidency. Now, could this bill sneak in to some kind of I don't know what kind of bill through Congress and then get passed by the Senate as well, and it'll be quietly done, and now Canadians have 240 days instead of 180 odd days? Don't know. We'll see what happens. Crazy 49, Bruce, why do you choose California over Florida, which is a typical snowbird target? Jen will not step foot in a state run by Mr. DeSantis, and neither will I.
I won't go to a state where women's rights are
Where women's rights are attacked,
attacked.
she's not going there.
I won't
So,
give them my money.
and even if there were a Democratic governor in Florida and it was all equal for everybody, we're Western Canadians, so we have direct flights 3 hours from Calgary straight to here, and we like the warm, dry weather. We like it. Right? We don't like the humidity of Florida. That's why. That's one of the other reasons. James of Misty Tree. I must confess, that was my wife's trade. Megan of the Misty Tree. She is getting jealous of me with the getting the high praise, laughing out loud. Way to go, Megan. Make that money. As Crazy 49er, James of Misty Tree, did she say challenge accepted? Crazy 49er, laughing loud. Great reason, Auntie Jen. That's a good reason for not going to Florida. Okay. Yeah, Mr. DeSantis has kept us away from Florida.
I've never seen you in Kansas.
You ain't going to see Jen in Kansas either. And for sure, relaxed weekend to everybody from Smart. Thank you, Smart. Lorraine, we will have to have you here, Uncle Bruce, especially in Manhattan. Well, we do like New York, and we visited a few times, and it was great seeing Lorraine in person at that little bistro just down the street from our hotel. Thank you all for being here. We're down 128 on the Dow. We've lost that dead cat bounce opening. That it's over. Now we'll see what we really have for the rest of the day here. We're down 14 on S&P. We're down 56 on Nasdaq. It's a third of a point lower. That's all. It's nothing serious here. Oil is up 46 cents. Not much going on. SoFi right now is 13.06. It's down 20 cents on the session. So there's a little bit of profit taking from the little run we had lately. Hey, it's a long day. You'll watch the rest of it. GameStop is up 54, holding at 27.32. It did reach 27.67. That's as high as GameStop got. We've only had 2.4 million trade. Very quiet on GameStop. ASTS is down 2. Rocket Lab is at 20.32. The low of the day, 20.23. I have a feeling that about a half an hour ago, the stock tried a rally from that 20.50 range. But then the Dow went negative, so now Rocket Lab is going one more leg lower, but this might be it. This might be it. I can't guarantee that. But 13.7 million traded. And it's possible that we've hit the low of the day for Rocket Lab and we get a little bit of a consolidation from here. But it might take 3 or 4 days for the Rocket Lab to come back to 21.50, 22.50. It might take a week or two, but if you're writing $19 or $20 and $21 cash secured puts, or 25s or whatever, and bringing in big money, I say do it and enjoy the ride because I think you're going to make money. But that's just me. Lisa, hey, Rocket Lab seems to be heading for under 20. Susan Shops, Amelia Island, North Florida, very nice. Mike, Florida tried to loosen child labor laws to replace immigrants. That failed. Yes, Stock Option Sensi. Good morning, number 143. Good morning. I am hearing stories, reading stories of people driving in vehicles from Georgia south to Florida, getting pulled over by state troopers because it appears that there's a driver and a passenger that do not appear to be of a certain acceptable ethnicity. Can I say that any more delicately than that? He pulls him over because he said, you're swerving in your lane. I just want to make sure you're okay. Can I see your ID?
That's a health check.
It's a health check, a wellness check. And the first question is, show me your ID and passenger too, which is illegal. And, where do you live? And where are you going? And are you American citizens? And here we freaking go. And they call ICE on the side of the road to have them taken away. It is scary as hell down there. State troopers are now ICE agents in disguise. Not good. Not healthy. And so it is creating a tremendous work shortage in Florida for certain trades. And what can I say?
When the foundation building.
Yeah, that's true. When the foundation is shaky, the whole building falls. Hey, look, you want to stamp out illegal immigration. I get that. Canada is the same way. So an individual will be caught breaking the rules and they'll be deported or they'll be in front of a court and they'll be in detention. Canada has jails. And there are illegal immigrants in jails in Canada. They happen to be air conditioned and they happen to be heated and they happen to be fed and maybe a little more, not as factory-like in the Americas. They're not run by private enterprise, by the way. Canadian jails are not privately run for profit. But fair enough. You want to stamp out illegal immigration, go for it. But have you got an immigration policy of some kind? Do you have a functioning worker program in the United States? Do you have a functioning system? Because it looks to me like all the layoffs and the firings of all these department people, tens of thousands of federal workers being dismissed, makes everything dysfunctional, makes everything slower, and and I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know if there's a system that's any better than. I think it could be better. Let's put it this way. Maybe the system could be a lot better than it is, if there is a system at all, but I don't know. I'm just a guy trying to help you make money in the market, really. That's all I want you to do. Just make money, okay? Let's move on. Whatever. Driving while black. Yeah, there you go. Lorraine, this is sad. It is sad. Anyway, we ain't going to Florida, okay? So there you have it. There's an answer for you.
It's far away.
It is far away. We went to Ontario yesterday. Jen and I went all the way to Ontario yesterday and back in one day. That was a lovely trip. Grabbed the old Tesla, turned the key. Wait a minute, there's no key. Grabbed the Tesla, flicked the thing, and started driving. Door opens automatically, and then you put your foot on the brake. The door closes automatically. We drove to Cabazon to start our journey. Went to Cabazon, wanted to find something, couldn't find it, and
For those on the East Coast, Cabazon is an outlet.
it's an outlet mall. In case you want to know, Cabazon is an outlet mall. Couldn't find what we were looking for there, but we found an In-N-Out, so we popped into the In-N-Out, had lunch, like a late lunch, early dinner, and then decided let's drive to Ontario, where there's the Ontario Mills Mall and there's the Victoria Gardens Mall. Maybe we'll find what we're looking for there. So we went right up to the Victoria Gardens Mall, a very nice upper end shopping mall. It's not an outlet mall. Found a shop that ended up having what we wanted, purchased what we wanted to get, and drove back. And we endured rush hour. By the time it was all said and done, we endured a little bit of LA suburban rush hour. Came all the way back to the desert in broad daylight. No issues. The Tesla drove beautifully, and it's plugged in the garage, charging up. All is well. It was a nice outing yesterday. It was nice. I kept an eye on my phone, watched the aftermarket, see what was going on, and made it back home. Giddy up. Brian, hey, I'm trying to sell some January 2026 $19 cash secured puts on Rocket Lab. I'm trying to get $4. Come and get me. You might have to go $3.99 or $3.95. You might have to be a stink offerer and get first in line. So Lisa, I sold an ASTS Jan 26 $21 cash secured put for $4.88. Happy to take a gamble with their earnings next Monday. There you go. Not bad. It's $25.55 on the stock. You're willing to pay $21 less, $4.88 for it. Nice going. Good luck with that trade. Susan got Rocket Lab Jan 26 $24 cash secured put. They paid me $7.60, Bruce. I took the money. Mike, dang, that's some nice premiums up there. Way to go, you guys. Dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars. You got 2,500 lying around. You can write Rocket Lab cash secured put for $25. You got 10 grand lying around. You can write 4 of them. That'll bring you 760 times 4. That'll bring you what, 3 grand on 10 grand. Now earn interest on all that money. That's okay. Yeah. Hey, giddy up, kids. Why not? Let's grab this money. Brian, my GameStop calls that I bought are up 35% from 2 days ago. Run, GameStop run. We're up 81 cents at $27.59. The high of the day, $27.67. on 2.7 million volume. No volume, but the stock is moving up. ASTS is still up a quarter. SoFi down a dime at 13.16. Rocket Lab is 20.78, down 2.32. The low is 20.23. A big snapback rally on Rocket Lab right now. We've jumped back 50 cents on Rocket Lab just in the last few minutes. MSTR still up 3.93, but it's come down. AI is unchanged. So we had a sell-off, but now we see a snap rally happening elsewhere. We're only down 4 on S&P, we're down 10 on NASDAQ, and we're down 95 on the Dow Jones. There you go. Giddy up, everybody. Fun times. Want you to get rich and richer, okay? Please become very wealthy people. I look forward to being able to say to people I bump into, oh, yeah, what have you been doing last little while? Oh, I helped a lot of people get very wealthy. I love saying that. It makes me feel good. We've got 145 thumbs ups. Thank you for at least that many. We're not going to see 200 today. There's not a hope in hell of that. We have 271 people who have voted, but I can't get thumbs ups. Do you believe that the worst is over for the stock market, or are we going to go lower? 34% say we have hit the bottom. We're going straight up from here. 66% say no. We're going to dip again. We're going to dip more. And we might stay down longer. We'll see. 66% say no. 34% say yes. 145 people have said, Uncle Bruce, we love you unconditionally. Here's my thumbs up. It cost me a fortune to give it to you, but here's my thumbs up. You keep up the good work. 147 now have come in. Thank you. Loyal viewers, each and every one of you. Thank you again for all your support. I've got to get a hold of a viewer. He wants to have a one-on-one with me tomorrow. I got to do that right away. Thank you all for joining me tonight. If you want a one-on-one, you let me know, and we'll get together. I'll keep you posted on this 24-hour-a-day trading thing that they're talking about. We're going to start trading at 8 o'clock Sunday night until 8 o'clock Friday night every week, starting late next year if this goes through. Man, what time will I be on the air? Oh, my God. Sunday Night Live. Oh, geez. Holy crap. Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great weekend. If you see someone you haven't seen in a long, long time, give them an extra long hug. You never know when it's the last time. Keep that in mind. Charlie, thank you so much, Uncle Bruce. Have a great weekend, everybody. Brian, I have a stinker to sell some 28 June 20 GameStop cover calls for $350. Come and get me, baby. Beach Boy. During the trucker protests, Canadian government went full-on take money from the donators, race to the bottom using fear and anger. We have our own corrupt and crazy government, to say the least. Charlie, neat. Mike, take care. Crazy 49er, still waiting for my Discord. Shrug, I sent you a message. Richard Carlin, neat. If you want to join Discord, send me an email. Tell me your Gold Bagel member name. If you're a Gold Bagel member, I'll send you link information, and we'll go from there. Rice, I sold 6 Meta, 622.5, 632.5 a couple of days ago for 45 cents. I just bought them back. 2 cents. Thank you for that, they say. Rice says. Taking 43 cents off the table, $43 times 6. That's not bad. If $200 and something, the stock is $5.95, and he's writing 622, 632 call credit spreads that are worthless now. A beautiful job. Now get ready for the next one. Giddy up. Oh, yeah. Crazy 49er. I got your email. I'm just waiting for the invite. Okay, good. Crazy 49er. At least the second part of it. Gotcha. Rock and roll. Okay. Be patient. Thank you all so much. Have a great week. Great weekend. And we'll see you here on Monday. We'll keep an eye on the market in the meantime. All the best to all of you. Get richer, please. And you take care of yourselves. Jen and I are saying our goodbyes in 3, 2, 1.